So the digital product passport is this part. It's an RFID thread. So that's an RFID tag, radio frequency identification tag, that's in teeny tiny thing there. It's actually in a pliable thread. It's the world's first washable radio frequency ID tag in a thread. What it means is that it's bulk scanning. So it's a B2B, business to business tool for a circular economy. So we put it into products, we put it into mattresses, apparel, footwear. We're being asked now to put it in all kinds of amazing different products because it's bulk scanning. So that means that it can be easily sewn in, for example, going to be sewn into a garment. Just as they finish putting the label on, it's going to be sewn in there. You can scan hundreds all at once. So you can actually pre-scan. So imagine I've got, this is a large tencel satin. It's been made with Bijou the tailor. The mill is from Mumbai. I've added this much transport. I've ensured that it's actually come by road, not by air, to minimize my carbon emissions. And so you scan it using a commercial UHF scanner. Now, most businesses have these. You'll see them, the handheld scanner. But what's exciting is that we can actually make them even more affordable. This is a UHF scanner, and scan and connect to our app. So the app at the moment is on an Android. That will be on an iPhone. You scan it, and initially you add the data. So I can have hundreds of these ready to go, or already in the garment, already in the box. Scan those 100 and add in just the data that is for this particular product. It will have a unique code, and so that means each product is unique. That unique code also gives us a QR code, so brands would be able to download that and put it on to a swing tag. But realistically, that's old tech now, the QR codes. I mean, they're inefficient. So we're going with NFC, which is basically how we pay for everything with our phone. So as we transition to that, people will still be using QR codes, but NFC ring will also be put into the garment. So that means that brands will be able to scan bulk to see this data. It's going to be like a glorified swing tag. So it'll give us all the traceability. It'll give us all the provenance of who made it, where it was made, and all the LCA, which is the life cycle assessment data attached to that. Now, because it's a B2B tool and we're talking about it attached to information in the cloud, it doesn't just store the information there, it's attached to the cloud. So that means that it's attached to what's called the Internet of Things, to robotics. This is all the technology that we have now by being enabling brands to show where their product is, so increase efficiency. Attach it to their supply chain management system that is attached and also disconnected through software bridges. Now, why we do that is because you can attach it to your supply chain management system, and it's put in from the manufacturers, and then it gets scanned by fixed systems or handheld as it goes to the warehouse, as it goes for shipping, as it goes back to another warehouse, as it goes to retail in the store, or distributed from the warehouse, at which point that software connection is disconnected and it retains the information that we want it, that the brand will agree to letting us retain that, which is just all the information that is necessary for the recyclers at the end and for the reporting, especially for a digital product passport that is required reporting, which is what's happening in the EU with the Green Deal and their digital product passport, mandatory for all products that's going to be sold in the EU from July 2027. So this is the game changer. So all these products will have a digital product passport. That will mean that all the brands will be able to connect with other brands and what we call the resource recovery sector. So, sorry, they're not brands, they're businesses. So that means if the company goes out for rent, that's an easy rent. So you scan it, let it rent out, scan it, come back in. The same for repair, the same for reuse, redesign, remake. The reason why that's crucial is because it's adding the data that tells us that that product has increased in its longevity. That's the holy grail. That's the holy grail of what we want to happen to garments, and that's the holy grail when it comes to the data, to be able to capture that longevity. But every time it's scanned, it'll show what was done to it. So it was rented out, it was resold, it was repaired, and we say geographically, an estimate of where it is geographically. We don't need to know the precise address for adding the LCA data, the life cycle assessment, because we want to know what is the transport piece for these as well. That has never been done in this industry before, and that's what's essential to know where the product gets moved around. But importantly, when it comes to what we call stage 4, the recycling sector. So recycling is at the end. We shouldn't jump the resource recovery sector, because those businesses are crucial to the brand to be able to extend this product's life, but also to be able to give information back to the brand on their product's usability and durability and repairability. So then it goes to the stage 4 recycling. The recyclers do the final scan, show where it is, how long it actually lasted for, what happened, we can see what happened to it. They can remove the RFID thread and see if it still has at least another wash left on it. Remember I said it was washable? You can get 30 washes or 100 washes. So imagine that this is being put in a woolen jumper with 100 washes, and it has been picked up by recyclers after maybe a few years. It's not done 100 washes. It just needs to be able to still keep working. So what we do is we scan it so the brand has their data of their longevity, and then we wipe it, reset, reuse, and resell to the secondary market, which is mattresses, homewares, products that don't need to be washed, because this is still a reusable product. It's also defined as e-waste, so we need to be able to capture it and recycle, because it's metal, recycle at the end if it's not usable. Now this is why I'm here also in India, because this is one of the perfect places to close that loop. So we manufacture the RFID threads here, that's my goal and hope. It then gets given to the manufacturing sector. They're the ones acting on behalf of the brands to scan, add to the garment, add all that data that's required, and then get sent on its merry way. So it has its long life wherever it goes to. But ideally, it then comes back to India or another country that is taking the resources. We don't call them waste, they're resources. So these fibers. So then they scan, remove, reset, and then this can be recycled as fiber to go into more products, more yarn, more textiles. So that is essentially closing the loop and connecting all the stakeholders as it goes through. So that means that it's earning money, has the capacity to earn money for the original brand, for the renters, for the repairers, for the resellers. Everyone is sharing in the fact that this product was made to last from the beginning with sustainable textiles, manufacturing strategies, using 3D design, zero waste, all of those circular design strategies. So the brand can also show these strategies and evidence at the end of its life. And this is where also the brand can be rewarded for doing that. In some countries, they are charging a levy, and you'll pay less at the end for your levy or the tax if you prove you've used circular design strategies. So again, putting that economy in the circular economy, because that's how we're going to be able to financially support everybody.